FLOSSTUBE, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm the Lancaster Stitcher. Today is Monday the 18th of November 2024 and this is FLOSSTUBE 109. If you're new here, welcome. This is a channel mainly about cross stitch, but I do include other crafts, and I also talk about walks and travels I've been on recently and also books that I've been reading. If you're returning, welcome back. It's lovely to be chatting with you all again. This is the second time I'm filming. No, it's the first time I'm filming. It's the second time I've done it all though, because I thought I was filming and just went through it all and it hadn't recorded. I'm going to have one of those days, I can see it. But yeah. Okay, right. So, we'll have to make sure I get everything in again that I've talked about the first time to myself. Okay, right. I'm going to start by talking about how I have my DMC threads. I was asked to do this again in one of the comments on my last video. So I have all my DMC in this bag. They're in boxes in this bag. This is an Everything Mary bag that I got from Amazon. It's got pockets all the way around it. So yeah, and there's also pockets inside, but they're folded up. You can use them or not use them. These are the record cards that I use when I start a new project. They stay there. And then in this big pocket at the back, I have skeins for any threads that I'm starting to run short on. So just skeins of thread are in there for anything, you know, any that are running low. So in this bag I have 4 of these bobbin boxes that have all the DMCs in order. I have a spreadsheet with all the numbers on, so it starts with white and B5200 at the top, ecru, and then it goes through all the solid colours. I don't have any colour variants in here or anything like that. It's just all the solid colours all the way down through to, is it 3866? I think that's the last one. So they're all in order, and then they were fit into 4 boxes. The 4th box isn't full. It's about half full, but yeah, it's there for event if any new colours come out. So this comes everywhere with me, this bag, so I always have all my DMCs. I don't have to sort any out, they're all there, and that's it. That goes to stitching days with me, it goes to retreats with me, and I use it here at the moment, but I am setting up a second set that I use here, and then I'm not having to put the bag at the side of me when I'm stitching. Somebody gave me a box, a double-sided storage box that I'm setting up a second set in to use at home. Trying to think who gave me the box. Charlotte. It was Charlotte, stitching with the kids around. Yeah. So yeah. So that's how I store my DMC. All my hand-dyed threads are in really useful boxes. I have one box for Weeks Dye Works and any odd threads. And then I have a box that's got Gentle Arts and Classic Colourworks in. So yeah, that's my thread storage. So, I've got my dragon on my knee. It's keeping me quite warm, which is why I've no car. It's not the middle of summer. It's actually freezing today. The cars are frozen up, but I've not put my cardigan on because, as I've said before, this room is too hot. It's starting to cool down now. It's now 8:20 in the morning. So yeah, it's starting to cool down. So I'll no doubt be cold later on, and I'll put my cardigan on. But yeah, right. So I've got quite a bit to show you. I'm going to start with 2 new starts. So my first new start, I talked about it in my last video, is Spring by the Sea, which is the first part of Seasons by the Sea by Jeannette Douglas Designs. Stitching this as a stitch along with several other people. And yeah, some of us have started, some of us haven't started. I've started. This is 32 count vintage sky blue linen by Zweigart, and that is my progress. So that is the sand and some of the sea. It's not cross stitched that bit. You've got basket weave and bargello, but yeah, we've got some going on there. So yeah, I just do a bit now and again on this one. So yeah, that's that. We do have a Facebook group for that stitch along, so if anybody's interested. And then my second new start, on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, Jeannette, one of my friends, messaged me saying, I know you've got this chart, do you want to start it with us? And I went, okay, I'll try and find the stuff later. And yeah, the chart is this one, Dancer, Nora Corbett, one of the Christmas Eve couriers. And yeah, so I found it, and then I've made the tiniest start on it, Jeannette, the tiniest start. So yeah, so this is Dancer, and my tiny start, I've put the left the needle in at the top, so I know where it's the top is that tiny bit there. At least it's daylight now. It was dark when I started supposedly filming before, so yeah. So that's my tiniest start on Dancer. This fabric, I think, is 32 count blue Twilight Blue by Permin. I got this. I got pieces for all the reindeer, even though I've not got all the charts yet, from Create Nostalgia, all cut to size. So that's my tiny start on Dancer. And then we'll go on to whips. Get rid of my dragon now. I can get rid of my dragon off my knee. First one is Dragon Field Notes by UnconventionalXStitch, UnconventionalXStitch, and artwork by Hope Christopherson. I'm going to keep checking now that it's still recording, even though I know I've put the cursor further up so it's not going to catch it. It just didn't even, I didn't even press the button before, you know. The trials you go through when you're doing Flosstube. But yeah, right, here's my dragon. So I am now on page 37 of 100, and yeah, I'm really happy with how he's coming along. This is 25 count Easy Guide by Zweigart. Yeah, really happy with that. Not stitched on it today, getting ready for my video, but yeah, and I can move that off my knee. Cool down. Right, my next whip is Little Bits of Christmas by The Drawn Thread. Stitching a version of this square, stitching along with Hazel and Ush, who are both on Instagram. I'll put links down below to them. There we go. And this stays in the Q-Snap because I stitch on it every week. That is my progress. Just put it down here. So I thought, right, I'm going to do one colour at a time. So I'd done the word merry, the word peace, the word joy, and then I decided, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to fill each square in. So I finished off Santa. Don't know why my light's not so bright. I've plugged it in. It should be on. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Finished off the Santa because I'd left little bits for when I did that colour on other things, but no, I finished him off, put the button on his hat, and then I did the word merry. So I've done the leaves, the beads on merry, so that's finished. So yeah, so that's that. This fabric is 32 count vintage country mocha linen. Yeah, I stitch on this one day at the weekend while we do like a Teams call. So, yeah, that's that one. And then my next whip is Martha's Stocking by Shepherd's Bush. Stitching this for my granddaughter Skylar. Stitch on it on a Sunday as part of the Sunday stocking sale. So yeah, this is being stitched on 18 count Florber. I think it's just a natural colour. And that is what I've got done. So I finished the top part of a dress. I did these bits here. I've done the white in her sleeve. There you go, you can see it there. And I've done, it's not white, it's cream. And I've done the cream at the bottom of a dress as well. So there we go. Just do a little bit now and again on a Sunday. So there we go. Right, next one. Holy Mud Biscornu by Barbara Anna Designs. This is my smalls rotation piece. Showed it in my last video, did a little bit more. I had a few days at the beginning of the month that I didn't stitch at all. So yeah, that is my progress on that. So I finished the pig's head and I did a bit more of the mud and I did the fly there. That's it. That's all I got done. So yeah, but I think this gets stitched again at the end of November along with Sweet Dreams. So yeah, that's just some cream linen. I think it's 32 count. My next whip is QS Spirit of Winter Robin by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Ciro Marchetti. And that is my progress. So I basically filled in some of the robin. I started this in the middle, with it being round. I started in the middle, doing a page at a time. So I filled in some of the gaps in the robin's body, and then I did some of this blue over here. So yeah, this is 25 count Easy Guide by DMC. There we go. My next whip, that one's my full coverage piece in my rotation. This one is my nature piece. This is Raspberries and Butterfly from Luca-S. Stitching this on the kit fabric, which is 16 count HAED. Didn't do much on this either. I filled in some of the leaf and then I did some of this over here. So yeah, that's that one. And then my next whip is Silver Creek Samplers, my Christmas list. And I was stitching it thinking, oh, I'm nearly finished with this, but I'm not. I'm not finished. I'm up to here. So I've still got all this to do. So yeah, stitching using all the called for DMCs. I had it nicely folded. So yeah, there we go. So I did gingerbread, hang your stocking, and then I've done the 3 gingerbread men. So yeah, this is a DMC. No, it's a Pole Stitches fabric. Don't know what it is though. Started this quite a while ago. So yeah. So yeah, there's a couple of bits I noticed earlier when I was not filming that I've got bits in the red that I need to do, and there's probably some white snowflakes. Like, where's the white snowflake that I just saw? There's a white snowflake there. So I've got a couple of white snowflakes to do on it as well, which I'll do when I get it finished, when I get to the bottom. So that's that one. And then my last whip is The Autumn Garden by the Drawn Thread. Now the sun's shining, see? The sun's shining. So, yeah, The Autumn Garden by the Drawn Thread. I bought this as a kit from Nimble Thimble. I've still got today to stitch on this. But yeah, I just love those colours. Look at those colours. I love the colour that these leaves are. And it's the same as the door. So proper autumn colours. So yeah, just love that. This time in the last 2 days I've stitched the tree and started the leaves. So I'll do some more leaves later on. And that'll be it for that one for this time. So this is my seasons rotation piece. That's my whips. I am recovering from a bad cold. I was quite ill the other day. So yeah, still occasionally cough, but not too bad. Right, let's go on to crochet and knitting. So, I think it's because the weather's suddenly gone cold again. I pulled this out. This is my virus shawl. Crocheting this in Fantasy Yarns. Where are we that way? Fantasy Yarns. It's on the solid brown now, but I've got to get through to the purple. And let's get it the right way around. Oh, there we go. So, as you can see, it goes from yellow to orange to brown. And then it's got to go through to purple, yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be quite big, this, when it's done. So, yeah, I'm just loving the colour. Yeah, it'll be lovely and warm when it's finished. think this thread, no, on crochet, this yarn is 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. So yeah, it's lovely autumn colours. I've been doing that while I've been at the Knit and Natter. And then I got this. This is a little hooded jumper. It's a Sirdar pattern, number 5489. One of the ladies at Knit and Natter knit this for somebody, and it was gorgeous, and I just had to get the pattern so I can knit it for my youngest grandson, Arthur. The only problem is it only goes up to age 2, and he's 18 months old now, so I need to get a crack on. I need to get it done. I only started it yesterday, and that's what I've got done. So basically I've started on the back, and I've done the rib, and I've started on the knit purl, one row purl, one row bit. So yeah, so I'll do some more later. So yeah, so that's the start of my jumper for Arthur. So yeah, uses Sirdar Snuggly, that jumper, using the called for colours. That's my knitting and crochet. Right, some stash. I've only got a little bit of stash enhancement this time. When I was sorting the threads out for Seasons by the Sea, I was using these sheep thread drops, floss drops that I got from Pretty Little Thread Keeps, and I ran out, so I ordered some more. I also got some smaller ones as well, so I got them. So yeah, and then I was meant to go to Create Nostalgia the other day with the Yorkshire Stitchers, but I couldn't go for various reasons, and I ended up working. So I needed some cottons, some threads, so I ordered them from Peakside. And because threads can't travel alone, I had to get this. This is Blackberry, a berry by Hands On Design. Somebody at the Yorkshire Stitching Retreat was stitching this, so I had to get the chart. It was gorgeous. I've got the strawberry one, but yeah, I decided to get the blackberry one as well. So yeah, got that. That's the only stash I've got this 2 weeks. I've been really good this last 2 weeks. I've been terrible this month, but I've been really good this last 2 weeks. Oh dear me. Right. So yeah, that's my stash. I'll talk about my nails. Right, my nails. I've got marble effect on my nails this time, pinks and reds. So yeah, I've got this on for an extra week this time, because when I'm supposed to go next, I'm on a training course, so I had to change my appointment. She could only fit me in the week after, so I've got these for an extra week, and I'll have my Christmas nails for a week less. So yeah. And my hair, I'm planning on growing my hair. I want to dye it, and I can't dye it when I have it shaved at the back, so I'm going to let it grow a bit, so I can have it dyed. So yeah, it might look a bit untidy for a while. I'm still going to go and have it thinned out, because I've got a lot of hair. It's not thick, I'll just have a lot of it. So I need to get it thinned out, and then I'm just going to let it grow. I'm not going to have it long, I just want it to grow a bit so I can have it dyed. Get rid of the grey now. I've had enough of the grey now. So yeah. That's me. Yeah. So, books. Okay, so I've read or listened to several books in the last 2 weeks, and this is why I need to get on with my reading journal in the new year, because I forget what these books were about. I'll start with The New Mr. Knight by Dorothy Whipple. I finished that, and I went to the event at Blackburn Library, where we talked about the book, and then we watched the film of the book, and then we talked about the film. Lots of cake was involved, lots of coffee was involved, but it was a good afternoon. A lot of people, well, everybody said how much they really enjoyed the book. I enjoyed it. It was a good story. The film, as usual, the film wasn't as good as the book. It missed quite a lot of the main story out. The actors looked quite a lot older than what the book portrayed them as, but yeah, it was all right. It was made in the 1940s, the film, so yeah. But yeah. And then I read Simple Genius by David Baldacci. I talked about that in my last video. Again, it was about murders happening on this secret centre, you know, this secret place where they did scientific stuff, and it was next to a CIA complex. So yeah, that was a good story. There was a good twist, and it involved drugs, and yeah. I also read The House at Sea's End by Elly Griffiths. That again, murder. But yeah, that was quite a good story as well. I do like Elly Griffiths books. That's only the third one in the series that I'm reading, but yeah, I do enjoy them. And then somebody recommended Rachel Lynch to me, Lynch. So I read Dark Game, which is her first book, and it was quite a dark book about people smuggling, prostitution, murder. Yeah, so it was. I enjoyed it, but it was quite hard. You know, quite a difficult story. But yeah, I'm gonna read another one of hers, see if I like that too, and then I'll read the rest of the series if I do like it. So yeah, I'm currently reading this one. This is called The Craftsman by Sharon Bolton. This is my reading group book. Now we've finished Dorothy Whipple. I've only read the tiniest bit. I think I'm up to chapter 4. But yeah, it's another crime book, but it involves ghosts. And at the end of the first chapter, you were told that some teenagers it had talked about were actually ghosts. So yeah, so I'll tell you more about this one next time when I should have read it or nearly read it. And then I'm also listening to Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights, written by Emily Bronte. My first experience of Wuthering Heights was when I was a teenager, and my grandma and granddad took me to the Bronte parsonage in Haworth, and my grandma bought me a copy of Wuthering Heights. I don't think I read it then. I don't think I could get into it back then, you know, as a teenager. And then my friend at work has asked if we can go to Haworth. The lady who comes walking with me sometimes has asked if we can go to Haworth, and we're going next weekend on Saturday. So I thought, right, I'm going to listen to Wuthering Heights before we go. I've been a few times since, but I just decided let's do it. It's quite a tough book. If you've ever read anything of the Brontes, it's Heathcliff and Cathy, and yeah, it's the one I'm listening to. It's read by Joanne Froggatt. If you've ever watched Downton Abbey, Joanne Froggatt plays one of the maids in Downton Abbey. It's really broad Yorkshire accent, but as she's reading this book, she has quite an eloquent voice for certain characters, and then she'll have the really broad Yorkshire accent for the people who are from Yorkshire. So yeah, it's enjoyable. I'm enjoying it, but it is heavy going. So yeah, I'm going to stick it out. Whether I'll have it finished for next Saturday, I don't know. But yeah, so they're the books I've read. So I'm read or reading 6 books in the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I do like my books. Okay, so a walk. I was meant to go on a walk yesterday, but my friend wasn't well, so we didn't, and then it ended up pouring down anyway. So I was quite happy that we didn't go for a walk yesterday. But last Saturday, my friend was away, and I went on a walk on my own. When I've been driving over to Yorkshire, on the other side of Pennines, as we say, I've seen a tower up on the hill, when you're going through a place called Cowling, and I found out it was called Lund's Tower, Lund, Lund's Tower. So I decided I wanted to walk up to it. So I found this route that was 7.5 miles from Sutton and Craven. And I decided to do it last weekend when my husband was playing golf. And it was very foggy, very misty, but it was a nice walk, really nice walk. Got up to the tower, and you can actually climb up inside it. I've got pictures at the end again. Climbed up inside it, but it's dark. I had my phone torch on so I could see what I was doing. It just goes round and round the staircase inside it. And then you get to the top and there's like a paving slab and then a hole. And I hit my head on the paving slab because I didn't know it was there, because I'm looking down at the steps seeing where I was going. And then you went through the hole to get up on the top. And then you couldn't see anything because it was so foggy. So yeah. And then anyway, so I did that. And then I walked across to Wainman's Pinnacle. People know it as Cowling Pinnacle, but its actual name is Wainman's Pinnacle, which is just a folly. Apparently it was built as a memorial to the Napoleonic Wars. But yeah, it's just this tower thing. You can't go in it or anything. It's just like a tower on a massive rock, and I didn't climb on the rock because it was quite damp, and like there was a guy there with his little girl. The mum obviously didn't want to climb up it, but he had with the little girl. But yeah, but anyway, it was like I say, it was a really nice walk, quite a hilly walk to start with to get up to the tower. But then yeah, I saw a heron. I got a couple of good pictures of the heron. I saw squirrels, I saw goats, usual farm animals, cows and sheep, horses. Yeah, so really nice walk on my own. But I said I'd really like to do it again in spring or summer when you can actually see, because apparently there's really good views from the top of this tower, which obviously I couldn't see because it was so foggy. So yeah, I'm going to do that again. So again, like I say, I'll have pictures at the end so you can see what it's about. What else have I been up to? Right, I went to the pantomime the other day. A friend of mine, Jane, she's in amateur dramatics group, and every year they do a pantomime, and I went with my husband last Tuesday. It was Hansel and Gretel. It was really enjoyable. Had a good night. So yeah. The children from the school where it's performed take part in it as well, so they have a week of late nights because we were there, I think it was 10 past 10 by the time it finished, so yeah. And then yesterday I was at Blackburn Library watching a thing called The Plot Thickens. It was basically a comedy thriller. It was only 3 actors who did this acting, and it was really good. It was really funny, enjoyable, and yeah, I love going to things like that. You know, it was just something different. But yeah, they were really good. Lots of twists in it as well. So yeah, I won't say anything about the plot in case anybody's seeing it, because I know they're on a bit of a tour at the minute. The guys who do it. So yeah, so I did that. So they're the events for the past 2 weeks. I've also put mum, because I've not mentioned my mum for a few weeks. My mum's fine. She had the NG tube out, the feeding tube out. So she's okay now. She's back to doing her usual things. She was at the hospital the other day. I was meant to go with her, but I had the really bad cold. I wasn't feeling very well. My mum said, you best not come in. So I didn't go. She phoned me up and told me how she'd gone on. Basically, there was mention of possibility of having radiotherapy in case the cancer had spread. Anyway, the guy she saw the other day said he recommends she doesn't have radiotherapy because if she did, she wouldn't be able to eat or drink. So she's not having it. So she's quite happy because I think she got it in her head she wasn't having it anyway. And then, yeah, but she's going to have a couple of stitches in her mouth on the side to seal her side of her mouth up, because she's on soft foods all the time now anyway, but she's putting them in her mouth, and because she's no control over one side of her mouth, it's all just dribbling out of her mouth. So they want to just put a couple of stitches in just to seal that side of her mouth so it's not dribbling out. So I think she's having that done in a few weeks. But yeah, otherwise she's fine. She's doing okay. They have said this cancer, this type of cancer that she keeps getting, it's just going to keep coming back. So it's just one of them things. But we'll just have to see what happens, how she goes. They'll keep an eye on her. So yeah. So that's it. I think that's about it for today. Now I've said all that twice to myself. But yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for today. The next couple of weeks, as I said, I'm going to Haworth next weekend. And then I think that's the only thing I've got planned in the next couple of weeks. I know I've got a couple of meetings this week to do with rambling. But yeah, don't think there's anything else. I'm at another theatre, like the library theatre group thing next weekend. But I think that's it. So, and then on the 30th, it's the Yorkshire Stitching Retreats Day at Rastrick. So I'm probably going to that. At the moment, there isn't a reason why I can't go. But as earlier, recent events have led me to believe anything can happen within the next 2 weeks and I could end up not being able to go. But yeah, the plan is that I'm going to Rastrick on the 30th at the moment. My next video is due on that weekend, the 30th or the 1st of December. It's not the coach ramble, and I'm not going on the coach ramble anyway because I'm going to Slough, as I mentioned in my last video. But yeah, it's not the coach ramble the first Sunday this next month because of they're going to Knaresborough Christmas Market. So I know I should be free on the 1st of December, which would have been my dad's birthday. But yeah, I should be free. So hopefully I'll get it filmed on the 1st of December. Otherwise it'll be the Monday. Monday seems to be a good time for me to film at the moment. So yeah, but if I can, I'll do it on the Sunday. So have a good 2 weeks. Take care of yourselves and those you love. Be kind. Always. Always. I've seen some horrible comments and posts on Facebook in the last few weeks, and I'm not going to get into politics, etc., etc. That's not what I'm here for. But there are some awful things being said on Facebook at the moment, and it's ridiculous. But please be kind. You never know what anybody's feeling, what they're going through or anything. So just be kind. Happy stitching. Bye for now.